death can have me when it earns me. Here's your look at the brand new Spin Master toys, the Shapes Collection, God of War Ragnarok, Kratos. The God of War Kratos Shapes Collection 6-inch action figure captures Kratos in meticulous detail, from his battle-worn armor to ashy skin to his signature red tattoo. Featuring over 129 unique finishes and 31 points of articulation, fans can pose Kratos dynamically with accessories like the Leviathan axe, blades of chaos, and more. You must live by your deeds, but don't be troubled by them. Just before, of course, we get a closer look at the Spin Master of the Shapes Collection God of War Ragnarok Kratos. First, if I can, I'd like to thank the folks over at Spin Master that were kind enough to provide this sample. Not only did they send over Kratos, but they also sent over a big media box containing, I believe, all the first set of Shapes Collection figures that we'll be looking at in upcoming reviews. Based at least of what I've seen online, Kratos is slated to drop in December 2024. It's not, though, to say that you couldn't get your hands on him sooner, as I've seen already listings showing up on eBay where this guy's selling for around $45. Kratos is going to stand at 6 inches exactly, or the figure is going to be about 15 centimeters tall. A lot of good stuff comes included with Kratos. First, the figure does have some swappable hands. Now, if you did want to have him holding his Leviathan axe, the idea in mind of probably swapping these out for these probably won't be in your mind at all. The figure, though, like I said, does have some closed gripped hands. You can easily then just swap them out with the hands that he has right now. If you wanted to change the hands, by the way, it's just a case of holding onto the forearm. Don't let go, whatever you do. And then just sort of twist the hand and remove it from the post. The type of plastic that they're using is a little more of the gummier variety. I mean, it's not a super soft plastic, but it's that kind of plastic that you recognize when you first pick it up. Take the hand that you want to use and then just twist it back into the hole. And now you got yourself a closed gripped hand, or even just a fist hand. And then you also got a gripping hand on the other side. Now that gripping hand on the other side will come in handy because the figure does also come included with his Leviathan axe. Ooh. No, I should never joke about that. Leviathan axe also is made of a very kind of soft plastic. Not soft to the point where it feels like licorice, but it does have a little bit of give to it, which is probably a good thing as well if you're giving this to kids. The head of the axe, as you can see, has been forged nicely here in plastic. It's got some indentations. It's got some cracks. It's got a whole lot of detail. It's been painted here in gunmetal gray, while the rest of the handle's been remained behind in brown. Now, this can store in his hands. I would have normally have said it could be stored in either one of his hands, but seeing as I've already taken the liberty of removing one, the only then available option is that the figure then can be displayed with this hand holding the axe. The fingers themselves are fairly soft, again in plastic, so it's pretty easy for him to hold the axe. Once it's in his hand, though, it's not going to be going anywhere. If you'd like to go other places, though, which you can also do too, like in the game, on the back of the figure's body, there's a clip right here. So you could take the Leviathan axe and just clip it in place. It's okay. I mean, it's a little on the looser side, but at least the way that the clip is designed, the further you slide this down closer towards the head of the axe, the better grip it's going to hold, and then the axe is going to flop around on you. Well, it's got the axe right there. The figure also does come included with a shield. Now, he has two variations of shield. He has the open one completely that looks like an umbrella. If you like, though, your umbrella closed up when it's putting inside of a car or inside of a house, that's bad luck. He has also the closed up version of the shield. Now, they attach onto his arm the exact same way. See, there's like a peg right here and there's a peg right here. They're molded both in gold plastic. If you choose to want to display it this way, you can have the folded up axe. Now, he has a slit here on the side of his arm. There's no cover that goes over top of it. So when he's not got a shield on there, you're going to notice that there's a big slit in the side of his arm. I was just going to take the shield, plug it in place, and you really do have to push a fair bit of pressure in order to get that shield in place. But one good thing is the shield's never going to go anywhere. I think if I'm not going to have the shield opened up, having the closed up version of this would probably be the better way to have this figure displayed. It also does, of course, cover over that open area in the side of his arm. If you didn't want to see what it looks like, though, with the other shield, I'm just going to pop that off, take then the open shield, and we're just going to plug it in the exact same way. I did notice, though, that the larger shield seems to attach easier to his hands. Now, I don't know, though. I mean, like, I'm pegging this here for a second. I'm looking at the two. It does maybe look like there's maybe a little more plastic that they've allotted for the closed-up shield. There's a little less of it. Maybe that's the reason why this one's a little bit easier to attach onto his arm. Does anybody really care? I hope you care. Move that off to the side. Getting, though, a closer look at Kratos. I gotta say, though, for what we're getting here from Spin Master, I'm really impressed with this release. Let's go ahead and just actually remove the axe, because I know that's going to get in the way of things when it comes to rotating this figure's torso. Head sculpt wise, I think they've done a nice job on it. The painting, as you can see there on the side of the markings there for his face, nicely done there in red. You've got some darker colors that they've also afforded to the areas of his eyes as well, if I move my fingers out of the way. Beard's painted well. Of course, he's got that asher kind of skin. Nice markings of red. They're also spiraling around his bodies and his shoulders as well. Now, the armor itself, this armor is a separate piece technically. They've done that in such a way that when it comes to rotating this guy's body around, it's not going to be getting in the way. This looks just, though, like an overlay that they've put over top of the figure. I wonder if that is also one of the things that they're doing with an idea that down the road, maybe they're going to release other versions of Kratos. Let's hope so. Though he does have a neutral expression, it would have been nice if they could release maybe this guy a second edition where he's got kind of more of a grimace or screaming face. That would be ideal. But the head sculpt, got no real complaints with it. I think they've done a nice job on it. The shoulder pad is one thing that's separate from the rest of his torso. You can see that they've sort of attached it by a peg. One good thing, at least by doing it that way, is that when it comes to moving his arms, the shoulder pads aren't going to be getting in the way at all. The armor has a lot of layers to it. You can see that there's some darker blacks, some dark browns, some grays added in there as well. Got some additional reds. He's got the gold there on the side. He does also have, though, a sheathed blade. Now, you can't pull the blade out. It's permanently molded in there. Not that it necessarily needs it. I don't think it, the idea of really having a removable blade, the fact the figure already comes included with an axe is more than enough for me. Nice little, again, layers of color. There's a lot going on here. I think rhyming this off at the beginning of this review, there's over 100 layers of different paint that they've afforded this figure, and it definitely does show. Really does look good. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing here. Now, for his articulation, obviously with the skirting on the front of his legs, it's not going to impede at all the movement. But I guess what we'll do starting first is we'll go back to the head sculpt. The head's going to be on a ball joint, so it allows the head to rotate all the way around. If it really wasn't for the shoulder getting in the way of things and the length of his beard, ideally, though, you'd be able to rotate the head all the way around. The head looks up, the head looks down. The head what? Looks back and forth as well. Upper torso is going to be on a very generous ball joint. I'm really impressed with the amount of posability this guy does possess. Arms rotate all the way around. Whether you want to go the side that doesn't have the shoulder pad, you're not going to have any problems there. The side that does have the shoulder pad, would you believe, you're not going to have any problems there either. The arms rotate all the way around on either side. You can also bring the arms out also as well. The figure doesn't seem to have any bicep swivel. If there is one, it's just, oh, there we go. There we go. I'm going to say, he looks like he certainly does have a bicep swivel, and I was struggling with this earlier. Just with a little bit of persistence, with a little bit of luck, was able to get that swivel. So, correcting myself, what I would have normally said, he doesn't have any swivel in his bicep. In fact, the figure does. Swivels back and forth there. The figure, sadly, only has a single hinge in the elbow. I don't think he necessarily needs to have a double hinge. The fact he has it here and the fact that he has it here, I think is more than enough. Single hinge also allows the elbow to bend at 90 degrees. The hands rotate also all the way around. And then when we get to the legs, because they've done the skirting, softer plastic, and they've also allotted these with the little like strips of plastic that he has on the sides. They're not going to get in the way at all when it comes to moving those legs outward. So you can do a full splits. You can take those legs and move forward. You can move them back. There is a swivel at the top of the thigh. There is also as well, unlike the elbow, at least a double hinge on the knee. Nice detailing all around. Ankle pivot back and forth. There is also an ankle rocker. The figure doesn't have any toe articulation. I don't think he necessarily needs toe articulation. And just in case you're curious, even though really the Shapes collection, for at least what I've seen so far, doesn't seem to have display stands, if you did want to use a display stand from another figure company, you could do that as well, because Kratos does have the afforded options. All in all, though, nice looking figure. I can see, though, why people are probably starting to sell this guy as high as they are online. Like I said, waited out for this one. Because, like I said, online sites, right now, at least, show this with a pre-order of December 2024. Entertainment Earth, for example, has this guy marked as December 2024. So they don't pay the prices that some of the sellers seem to be selling him for over on eBay. Well over $40. Not worth it at all. I would certainly say, though, get him for the price that he's selling for. He's well worth it. He's a smaller scale version of Kratos. And also being that he's released by Spin Master, I think he's also getting put out there at a more affordable price if you can find it. The colors look good on him. The articulation is quite impressive as well. And he's got some decent level of accessories. The fact that he does come with the Leviathan axe, he comes with 2 versions of his shield, and some swappable hands. I don't think that can be beat at all. The packaging does actually list this guy with 31 points of articulation. I could almost even see that he has more articulation than 31. But all in all, though, yeah, really, really happy with how Kratos turned out here from the folks over at Spin Master. And here I was talking about the posability that Kratos possessed and failed to point out, too. The figure does also have shoulder crunches. You may not be able to see it with the side that has the shoulder pad, yet, but you can certainly see it on the other side that's currently holding the shield. It means that it gives the arms a little bit more allowance, that you can swing them a little bit further forward or arch them back a little bit more. The figure right now is being displayed with his opened up shield and, of course, the Leviathan axe on the other side. There's some storage space there as well, so if you don't like necessarily the axe in his hands, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, you can also attach them on the back of his body like he has in the game. There's a lot of layers going on for Kratos here. Just looking at the pelts alone, how many different shades of black and brown that we're getting here as well. The colors look good on him. The darker greens complement, of course, the ashier skin that he has, and then the red markings like he has in the games, all well handled by the talented team at Spin Master. Ideally, though, I would love to see this guy get released again, perhaps with an angrier expression on Kratos' face. But all in all, though, from head to toe, this guy being a smaller-sized Kratos, he fits the part rather nicely. Big thank you once again to the folks over at Spin Master that were kind enough to provide the sample of the brand new The Shapes Collection God of War Ragnarok. This was Kratos. What do you guys think of the figure? Let me know down below in the comments section. Is this high on your radar for figures you'd like to pick up for your collection? Let me know what you think of them down below. If you guys also did enjoy this video, do it a solid. Throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Hit that subscribe, turn on that bell, and of course come back. Because not only even though we have wrapped up things right now for Kratos, we are still going to be delving into the Shapes collection courtesy of the folks over at Spin Master. So as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.